So
When children have period pain, just simple putting a hot water bottle on their stomachs can actually help.
relief.
Yes, can actually help. And people say when you eat chocolate, it helps. You know what? There's all sorts of myths about diet. I know that the medication helps to take the pain medication.
Some people actually have these severe cravings for sugary foods when they're on their period. Some they can't even near sugar.
Whatever
It just works for you.
diet helps you, go for it.
Hello, welcome everyone to Pediatrics to Go. Today we're talking about dysmenorrhea, otherwise known as painful menstruation. So Dr. Sanusi, what do you have for us today?
Hi, I'm Francisca. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about dysmenorrhea because we do have a lot of girls, young girls, older girls, women who have that as a major problem. And what is dysmenorrhea? It's when you have a painful period. Some women have painful periods every time they have a period. Some have it once in a while, and some never have it. And those are the people that everybody envies. But the truth is, dysmenorrhea is very common, and it's just because of all the different changes in the hormone levels and uterine contraction, where the uterus is trying to basically expel the lining that was formed just in case a woman gets pregnant. And dysmenorrhea usually can be quite severe. When we have children coming in with dysmenorrhea that is so severe that they're having vomiting and they can't go to school, they can't go to work because the pain is so severe, now that is a major problem.
Sometimes they even have fever.
Yes,
Their own
yes.
temperature.
Sometimes it disrupts their whole. So imagine a girl who has very severe dysmenorrhea, and every month she is incapacitated for 5 days. I mean, that's a lot. That affects her school. If she's a student, if she's working, it affects her work.
Activities
It can
in
just
general.
affect her life. So what we usually recommend, how do you say it in medicine? Common things happen commonly. So you want to take care of the regular dysmenorrhea. Most women have a cycle. Some women have a period every 28 days, some every 21 days, every 25th day. If you know that your cycle is every 20, whatever duration it is, when you start to have any idea that your period may be coming up, start taking preferably a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medication. And that's your common ibuprofen, naproxen. Those actually are very good because they actually decrease prostaglandin release, which is one of the reasons why people have period pain. So if you inhibit prostaglandin release, which makes the muscle contraction less, then you don't have as much, you don't have severe pain as you would have. So we usually recommend start taking the naproxen or the ibuprofen or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, whatever, ketotifen, whatever, Toradol, which is also Toradol, any of those medicine, that class of medicine, start taking it as soon as your period starts. Take it with food because it can irritate the stomach, and make sure you take it every 6 to 8 hours round the clock to minimize the period pain. Most women and girls will do good just doing that. Now, if your child is having severe period pain where they cannot even walk and they're extremely painful, they are crying, they're writhing in pain, and this naproxen isn't working, or these medicines I've talked about, then they need stronger pain medicine. But I would recommend, if you have such severe pain that is disrupting your day or your week or your month or your life, then you might need to see a GYN specialist. And gynecologic evaluation sometimes might reveal other secondary things like endometriosis. Endometriosis is actually more common than is diagnosed, even among doctors. And because we're pediatricians, sometimes we're not able to diagnose endometriosis. And that's very common, especially if there's a family history. If there's a history of mom having extremely painful periods, or any auntie or an auntie that couldn't have children because every time she had a period it was extremely painful.
Wow.
Parents need to take their daughters to be checked for endometriosis. And the reason is endometriosis is actually when you have abnormal, like the lining of the uterus is in between the muscles of the uterus. So there's blood, there's bleeding in between the muscles and it's stretching, and that pain can be very, very severe. Plus, if it's not treated and checked and treated early, infertility can happen because you have endometriosis where the endometrial tissue could be places outside of the endometrius, which is the lining of the inner lining of the uterus. And if that tissue is where it's not supposed to be, it could actually cause infertility when the child gets older. Yes, and is trying to have children. So see a GYN specialist. That's outside the scope of our talk right now. But it's always wise to see a GYN specialist. If your child is having severe pain, then they might end up treating with birth control pills.
Really?
Yes.
I heard of that before.
Because birth control pills will suppress the hormone levels that are causing the severe period pain, and it gives the child puts the child in a state of pseudo pregnancy where your body says, "Oh, we don't need to produce all these hormones because we already have hormones coming in." And at the end of the day, when you suppress the endogenous or the hormones that the body makes, you actually help the child's symptoms to go away. Wow. So birth control pills can help, and then just being checked out for endometriosis, because if there's endometriosis, then the GYN knows what to do. So you want to see a gynecologist for that.
Okay, what of PCOS? Is that a reason for dysmenorrhea?
Well, PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that has a lot to do with obesity and hormonal imbalances, and it's beyond the scope of our talk. But when you have hormonal imbalances and you could also have severe period pain too, that usually you want to be treated by your GYN. And we usually refer to GYN specialists just to get that treated. Some pediatricians are comfortable treating that, but it's more of an older child, older teenager, early. It's more of a woman's disease. We see it more in adults, so we always send our children or the older children to see the GYN specialist, especially specialized for teenagers. But it's always safer to get checked by the experts who that's the expertise of the GYN. For the police, they usually will be the ones to diagnose that.
Oh wow, thank you very much. Is there anything else you let us know?
When children have period pain, just simple putting a hot water bottle on their stomachs can actually help. Yes, can actually help. And people say when you eat chocolate, it helps. You know what? There's all sorts of myths about diet. I know that the medication helps to take the pain medication.
Some people actually have these severe cravings for sugary foods when they're on their period. Some they can't even near sugar.
Whatever
it just works for you.
Diet helps you, go for it. Take your pain medicine, and that usually would suffice.
All right. So you've heard from the expert herself. So until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and bye.
Bye.